Welcome to my second international virtual roundtable, taking place simultaneously at this moment while I'm speaking here in Barcelona and in Los Angeles and of course in all your places. I'm absolutely delighted that you're all here live with me now on my second roundtable session. Today is the technological world premiere, and I'm very excited to present two extraordinary personalities with whom I have great pleasure to work on taking my human and technology-centered ecosystem for education, new work, and specifically as a third business unit, also virtual events like this to the next level. The transformation phase from the old millennium to an exciting new one is happening right now. So first of all, I would like to welcome Molly Lavik, who is responsible for investor relations in my HTCE team. She's our absolute source of positive energy and a great moderator for this roundtable. So Molly is currently in LA in the studio you can see behind me. 6,000 miles away, and very soon she will be here in Barcelona in 3, 2, 1, now. Hey Molly, so amazing seeing you.
Hello everyone. Hi. It's so great to see you too, Steffi. What a historic moment doing the first live beam intercontinentally with the portal holoportation machine. And it is my honor and really to welcome you as well and to introduce you. Today we welcome Dr. Steffi Burkhart, the German spokesperson for Generation Y, the Millennials Generation. For more than 6 years now, Steffi has been researching and speaking as Germany's best-known female keynote speaker on the topics of new work and the interaction between human intelligence and technological progress. The reason why we have all come together for the second International Virtual Roundtable is to take Steffi's vision to the next level as we join together in the all-important skills transformation movement. Over the next 90 minutes, we will together witness firsthand the remarkable aspects of Steffi's human and technology-centered ecosystem. You are witnessing the world premiere of the historic first intercontinental use of a portal holoportation machine to transport our featured speakers from Portal Inc. Studio right here in LA to Newton Lab Space in Barcelona, Spain. The portal holoportation machine allows anyone's human self to beam as their hologram self anywhere, anytime, for anything. Steffi's partner, Live Beam via Portal, will be discussing his work creating, thank you, the next generation of the internet called the spatial web and how it can bring artificial intelligence and other advanced technologies to every part of our business and social ecosystems. This will ultimately make what has been science fiction into science reality and transform the way we work, learn, and socialize. After our featured speakers talk, we will participate in a lively discussion in support of attendees' goals, and from there announce HTCE Roundtable 3. Welcome to this new medium and the first entry point to what is the spatial web. This HTCE ecosystem is a virtual bridge and quite literally a portal between Europe and the United States today and from this day forward. This is how Silicon Valley was born, and today marks this historic world premiere. Steffi kindly invites you all to join her this year, whether as investors, customers, or partners, and become part of this talented young company and the human and technology-centered ecosystem movement. Steffi, the stage is yours.
It all began 6 years ago with my research into generational diversity and new work. It is all based on my own experiences in my first job. I found the work culture to be totally opposite to what I was expecting. Everything was top-down, everything took too long to implement, and so on. So to sum up, for the last 7 years, my principal driving force has been to create the following impact. I would like to further develop the skills needed by millennials, as well as the framework within the working environment. By framework, I mean that German as well as other foreign businesses still rely on personal development, spatial concepts, skills, and methods from the past industrial age. I always try to explain to companies the importance of not becoming stuck with their work culture and workforce in the past 20th century. In addition, we are also facing a shrinking workforce crisis. So we absolutely need to be prepare our countries to face the global war for talents and as a country master the transition into the digital age. During the last 6 years, I started speaking about this topic in front of different audiences, in particular before decision makers. During this period, I saw myself as an initiator to provoke a reaction to this issue. At the start of 2019, I decided to put my words into action, and I came up with the idea to design and to build a human and technology-centered ecosystem. From my point of view, success in the future will depend on the co-play between the human intelligence and the artificial intelligence. We need to prepare new thinking in our minds, we need our ideas, and we need to become fluid. Artificial intelligence can recognize patterns between better than we can do it as humans, so we should learn to be creative, think out of the box, leave behind the alpha state of mind, and act in a permanent beta. Permanent beta, for example, means that originally described a software conception that had not yet been fully prepared. But in between, we have following questions that springs to our mind. Where do we learn role play, for example? What is the starting point, and where and how do we learn this beta state of mind? So coming back to the beta state of mind, permanent beta is a term that originally described a software conception that had not yet been fully prepared. Applied to our working world, we are now in a permanent transformation that will probably at least last for the next 20 years. The main theme for our future economies will be permanent reinvention. Are we preparing all generations, young and old, in the urbanized areas as well as the rural areas, and of course in the new world, but especially in the virtual world, with the right tools, methods and spaces to face the challenges of the years to come? In my eyes, unfortunately not. The current skills gap between what is offered and what is needed is widening, and to bridge this divide and to help companies in the digital transition, ecosystem must be implemented, which consists of at least 3 important parts: methodology, space, and technology, and everything human-centered. So in order to achieve these goals, it is essential to bring the right expertise on board. This expertise within my HTCE project is provided by a range of industry leaders such as Portal, Newton Lab Space, Versus Lab, Dell Technologies, Kapsch, Cetus Stahl, Fraunhofer, and so on. As an ecosystem, the HTCE creates a perfect working, cultural and experimental space through state-of-the-art technology, comprehensive methodology, as well as multifunctional spatial concepts. In this space, we enable people to learn new skills, to expand knowledge and expertise, to experience a modern work culture, and to develop innovations in an iterative co-creation approach with our specialists from the cooperation partners. We, the HTCE team, and my industry leader partners would be more than happy to support you in planning and implementing virtual events using the most advanced technologies on the market. We are convinced that innovative technologies belong to virtual events. One of the coolest and most exciting technologies I have found during my journey over the last 2 years is Portal, which the founder himself, David Nussbaum, will introduce to you in a moment. To introduce this world premiere with David, I would like to address some words for our German-speaking audience. So now I'm switching to German. Und ich möchte Ihnen heute Abend auch gerne die Portal-Technologie kurz im Deutschen vorstellen. Ich bewege mich jetzt einmal hier in die Portal-Technologie. Und was Sie sehen können, ist, dass ich jetzt in einem Widescreen-Studio stehe. Und in diesem Widescreen-Studio bin ich auf der einen Seite, wie Sie sehen, ganz lebendig zu sehen. Und man sieht mich aber auch auf der anderen Seite in dem Portal, wie ich interagiere. Diese Technologie ist wirklich großartig. Was wir hier erleben, ist eine Echtzeitübertragung von einer realen Person als Hologramm in diese Technologie. Und ich freue mich ganz besonders darauf, dass wir später auf jeden Fall auch David Nussbaum zu Gast haben, der die Zeittechnologie selber forscht. Und ich glaube ganz fest daran, dass auch noch die künstliche Intelligenz in der Zukunft mit dazukommen wird, was wir auch sehen werden, wenn David Nussbaum seinen Vortrag halten wird und über seine Technologie berichten wird. Und damit differenzieren wir uns vor allen Education Companies auf dem Markt. Davon bin ich heute fest überzeugt. Our HTCE in Cologne will be the proof of concept and provide the environment in which to bring education to the next level. Additionally, we will make our ecosystem AI-driven and focus on the fourth place of work, the virtual space. And in the coming years, the virtual work and living space will be the most important playground for all companies and individuals and will have the highest social impact for our planet. Jetzt habe ich aber genug geredet und ich glaube, wir können uns jetzt alle freuen auf meine beiden inspirierenden Partner, David Nussbaum und Dan Mapes. Zu David Nussbaum. I have great pleasure to introduce my first special guest, and this world premiere today, we are just experiencing live, could not have happened without my favorite technology partner, David Nussbaum.
Portal is the first device that lets people beam themselves to a location thousands of miles away and interact with people there. You can call it telepresence or even holoportation, but it's real right now. Portal was founded by David Nussbaum in Los Angeles in 2019 and is already shipping its human-sized machines worldwide. Nussbaum was joined in 2020 by co-founder and COO Doug Barry, a successful tech media executive at Electronic Arts and Turner Broadcasting, and venture investor through founding Pandora VC. Together, they raised a $3 million round of venture financing led by VC Tim Draper, who's invested in Tesla, Skype, and Twitch, which has allowed the company to build a world-class technology and creative team, develop a global cloud-based streaming and content management platform, and accelerate new product and customer growth. Portal's devices have already appeared at Comic-Con, the Saturn Awards, the televised iHeart Music Festival, and the 2020 Emmys Red Carpet. Portal has representatives in Barcelona, Dubai, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and New York, and has been named one of the top tech stories of 2020 by Forbes and other media outlets. Founder and CEO David Nussbaum. David is an award-winning writer and producer who founded Portal after 20 years in the entertainment industry, having spent time in sports radio, television, podcasting, and live events. His work was crucial in advancing hologram technology, including benchmark moments that advanced the industry, such as Jimmy Kimmel's live appearances via hologram at the CMA Awards, the digital resurrection of Latin music legends Juan Gabriel and Penny Rivera, Julian Assange's digital breakout of the Ecuadorian embassy, the first hologram fashion show with Christian Dior, and the Ronald Reagan hologram at his presidential library. He has also completed projects with Jack Black, Sony Pictures, Universal Studios, NBC's The Voice, America's Got Talent, the National Comedy Center, and others. A natural spokesman and performer, David has appeared representing his hologram projects on Good Morning America, BBC World News, CNN, ABC, CBS, Fox, Univision, Telemundo, the Discovery Channel, USA Today, the Daily Mail TV, Cheddar, Page 6 TV, and in a Netflix documentary. He's been heard on NPR and The Howard Stern Show and interviewed by Reuters, TechCrunch, Rolling Stone, Billboard, and the New York Post.
No, and you've been teasing this for days. That it would knock our socks off.
It's going to knock your socks off. So imagine this. It's a new way to communicate. It is called Portal.
And that is a hologram machine called Portal.
It is the Portal hologram.
The device made by Portal lets users talk in real time with a life-sized hologram of another person.
Tener una conversación con una persona de tamaño real, que es Portal.
款由 PORTL 公司制造的设备。
We go over and look at that.
There is a whole new way of doing virtual meetings at home hologram machine.
It's a whole new world now, Griff. Come on.
We've developed a production process that allows us to create a volumetric, almost 3D effect.
It's all 3D. So cool. The detail is unbelievable. You will swear I am right in front of you. Like you said, it's the absolute best way to social distance in the world.
Instead of a Zoom call, you could transport a 3D hologram live of yourself to any location in the world.
So this is a way to bring people where they couldn't physically be for one reason or the other.
Kane was the first major artist to use Portal hologram for a TV appearance.
They sing the songs the way they want to sing the songs. It's not a body double and a CGI head. It's really them.
It's a great interactive experience. It's an emotional experience.
For more information about this, they have a website, portalhologram.com. Answer all your inquiries. They've got a lot more videotapes. It's really interesting. Portalhologram.com. That was fun.
Hey everybody, I'm David Nussbaum, and like trailblazers Tupac, Jimmy Kimmel, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, I come to you today via the power of hologram. Portal was invented with beaming amazing speakers like Dr. Steffi Burkhart and Dan Mapes in mind. I've always believed that if you can't be there, beam there. And now the days of the large festival projection stages are over. You shouldn't have to be Tupac or extremely wealthy to become a hologram. Portal has scaled those giant arena-sized stages down to completely self-contained, single-passenger holoportation devices. Portal is for everybody. What you see is real. It's right in front of you. Portal is a shared experience. And couldn't we all use a shared experience right now? Now, I'm going to walk you through just a few typical ways to use Portal. Education and information, very important. And with a single click, Portal can beam professors and educators from the safety and security of their own homes or offices into Portal Epics, like the one I'm standing in today, or Portal Minis, which is going to be our consumer device that we offer later this year. We can beam anybody into any of these machines globally. And imagine having real-time access to Earth's greatest minds. I mean, we could beam politicians, inspirational speakers, entertainers, and even religious leaders into hundreds and one day thousands of locations simultaneously. And the person who's being beamed in will have the near supernatural ability to hear, see, and fully interact with their global audience in real time. And the next way I think Portal should be used and will be used is through commercial and retail applications. Now, Portal's traffic generating machines, I mean, they're built to get attention. You place a Portal in a store window and watch heads turn. Why use a mannequin wearing a single outfit when you can have a hologram model walking through the Portal wearing every single thing that the store offers? And with voice and swipe and even touch options, the customer can select what they want and check out without even having to enter the store. And the camera that's above my head, when I'm being beamed to you, I can hear, see, and interact with you. But when I'm not being beamed in, it's got data, analytics, and even facial recognition software, so sponsors will know what types of people are standing in front of the Portal and viewing their advertisements. It's very valuable in this space. And thirdly, the enterprise model. You know, from TV show actor auditions to CEO interviewing potential employees, putting a Portal in a conference room and beaming in potential hires will be part of our future. Nonverbal cues and body language help tell the story, right? So these are the things that Zoom just can't do. We don't project from the neck up. We beam the entire person from head to toe in full 4K volumetric resolution. And I also want to mention an alliance. It's an announcement that I'd like to make. It's Portal and Storyfile have built this amazing partnership, and why it's significant. Until now, we could only beam live and even play back pre-recorded material, but now we could do both at the exact same time. Storyfile tech turns a regular person into Alexa. I mean, this is perfect for immortalizing legends, so future generations can have conversations with them, as well as actually even having a hologram information directory. The options are limitless. Welcome to the future.
Hey everybody, it's David Nussbaum, owner of Portal. And today, I'm going to be having a conversation with myself. Hologram David Nussbaum. Hi, what is your name?
My name is David Nussbaum.
Hi, David. Are you really there?
You would think so, but really I'm a hologram-like effect. I'm a portal-produced piece of content. I'm stuck here, inside this, portal projection device, not really here. Sorry to disappoint you.
Well, I'm not too disappointed. What is holoportation?
Well, holoportation is the ability to beam from wherever you are to wherever you need to be in real time. You could holoport from one place to one other place. You could holoport from one place into thousands of locations. Picture the next president of the United States beaming from his or her own campaign office into all 50 states at the exact same time. That's holoportation.
Wow, great answer. How will Portal change the way we interact with technology?
Well, think Zoom or Skype or FaceTime. Right now, you're just seeing, from the chest up, and it's a low resolution image. Portal is so great because it's the full-size person. It's their entire presence. There's a lot going on down here that you don't see when you're doing a Skype call, right? So you're seeing the social cues, you're seeing the body language. Things are going to change in the future when instead of people zooming from place to place, they are portaling because it is their entire body. When somebody portals into another location, person seeing their hologram or hologram-like projection, they're getting an emotional reaction that you just can't get on any regular two-dimensional piece of content.
How interesting. I'd like to get to know you just a little bit better. What are you most grateful for?
My family. They're everything to me. They inspire me constantly. I'm grateful for my friends and my colleagues. The support that I have been given is amazing. I think about my friends, my family, and my colleagues whenever I do anything.
Oh, that's touching. Last question before I let you go, because I'm hungry. What is your favorite kind of food?
I love sushi.
Oh, great. Well, I'm hungry. So, I'm hungry for sushi. I think I'm going to go get some sushi right now. That was Hologram David Nussbaum coming to you live from Portal headquarters. It's David Nussbaum. Goodbye, everybody.
David, thank you so much. This was just a mind-blowing speech. It's a mind-blowing technology. It's so crazy. And thank you so much for being here today and making it all possible. And it's so nice that it's happening here in Barcelona, in my studio, the first time. Really, thank you so much. And I'm pretty sure that there are some people out there who have questions. And I would love Juliana to ask all the questions you have, because David now can answer 1 or 2 questions of all of us. So Juliana, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. This is so amazing, David. It was so great to see you also interact with yourself. Sounds like a great conversation to have. In fact, hi, David. In fact, that's one of the first questions I got. How do you interact with one another? And someone's asking for you to holoport some sushi, but I think that's not going to be very satisfying, the hologram. But yeah, how do you create interaction?
Well, when you're beaming in live, it's super easy to have interaction. So like I'm here right now, I can see you because of all of the embedded audience-facing electronics, right? So we can have full-time interaction. The story file, what you just saw, is so great because it's like taking a real person and immortalizing them. You're freezing them in time. So, super important people like presidents and astronauts, and I mean people that should be recorded in history. Freeze them in time, have them answer all of the questions that they should be talking to people about, and so future generations can now sit down opposite these amazing people. But talking to myself, I'm used to hearing my own voice in my head. So it wasn't that strange actually having a conversation with myself.
Yeah, that's very charismatic the way you put it. I like it. There's so many more questions coming up. Oh my God. Will this integrate with augmented reality in the near future? Someone's asking.
Well, what's so great question. What I like about Portal, one of my favorite things is that it is a blank canvas. It is not just a portal to another place, but it is it's a place for creators and creative people to use it however they want. I nearly named Portal, I nearly named it Canvas, because that is what we are. So with augmented reality and with other technologies that will present itself in the future, use Portal how you want to use it. So maybe right now we're using it to live beam people, and we're using it to pre-record content like hologram jukeboxes and all kinds of fun stuff. But augmented reality and anything that comes in the future, I think, would find a really great place inside of a portal.
All right. Well, thank you for that answer. So someone's already asking if there is an advanced portal that we could maybe expect in the future that has a 360-degree screen. You can see, David, everyone wants to further your idea. Do you have something like that in mind?
Sure. Of course, that's the goal, right? Right now, I'm in a box, right? I've got the walls, I've got the ceiling. I'm inside of this device. But yeah, the future, the goal, right, is to remove the box. One day we'll be able to, press a button or just announce something, and it will materialize before you. Look at just all the technology that's come in the last 10 years. Oh my goodness! We've gone 100 years in the last 10 years just with the advancement that we have in technology. So yeah, I would like Portal to be the company that brings us to that part of the future where you can see us in full 3D and walk around us. Right now, this is the best in the world, and we're continuing to push the limits of what the technology can do.
Fabulous. I could keep going. We've got so many questions. Steffi, I suggest we gather them and then we will forward them to you. How about this? Someone's wishing you to take over the world with this portal. So you've got the best wishes on your side.
So thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, Juliana. And it's so amazing seeing you all there on the Zoom wall. Thank you, David. Thank you. It's an incredible technology, and it's really, honestly, the first time we see something like that a person is holoportated from LA to Barcelona in our studio. And I'm really excited about our next great speaker. But before I introduce our next speaker, however, I want to introduce our amazing Juliana. Today she has already been heard as the voice from the off, and you just saw her facilitating the Q&A session. Juliana Sacalario is a wonderful young lady speaking 5 languages and is my Chief Operation Officer of the Human and Technology-Centered Ecosystem. Today she's joining us from Cologne in Germany, and now I feel very honored to introduce my next special guest, and his name is Dan Mapes. When Juliana and I first listened to Dan Mapes, he left a lasting positive impact on my thoughts and vision about the future. For me, he's one of the greatest visionaries in the US, and I'm proud that Dan and his team are cooperation partners of the HTCE. For me personally, Dan is always a source of inspiration and incredible positive energy. We are currently working together on a blockchain innovation in the education sector. So, Dan, are you here somewhere? Oh, you're here, amazing. No idea. And now I would like Juliana to do the introduction of your amazing biography. Juliana?
Dan has spent over 25 years at the intersection of artificial intelligence, networking, computer gaming, and evolutionary psychology as an entrepreneur, inventor, and investor. Dan is currently a founder and architect of the spatial web, the next generation of the internet, and he is also a founder of Versus.io, an advanced artificial intelligence and spatial networking company. These 2 projects work together to deliver a smart spatial web for businesses, governments, education, and health organizations. Versus has offices in the US, Europe, and Asia, and recently won a multi-year contract to develop the Europe-wide drone management standards for the European Commission. Dan also co-authored the best-selling book, The Spatial Web, and is often a keynote speaker on the impact of technology on business and society. The smart spatial web enables the global networking of a new type of contextual artificial intelligence. This will lead to a greater level of partnership between human and machine intelligence called networked augmented intelligence. And this will enable humanity to solve many seemingly intractable problems such as global climate management, advanced education projects, smart cities, global supply chains, new health initiatives, and much more. A positive future is now.
Dan, please. The stage is yours.
Thanks so much, Steffi. So great to be here today. My name is Dan Mapes. I'm the founder and president of in California. And we're also the developers of the protocols for the new spatial web. I'll be talking to you about that today. But I think it's appropriate that we're here in a hologram because the world that Steffi's describing, that's coming at us in our work, in our education, is holographic. We've had 25 years now of computer gaming, and so we've got a whole generation of young people that have grown up playing 3-dimensional computer games. But our web's been in 2D. So we have a 2D web and we have a 3D gaming world, and now they're merging. And that merger is something that we call the spatial web, and that will allow a new kind of education, training, business. So we're going to see today this tsunami that's coming at us and how it's going to impact us, and then what we can how we use these tools to help us deal with it and actually evolve to the next level. We have 2 things coming together right now. We have a very advanced breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, and we have a new holographic World Wide Web called the spatial web. So it's the next generation of the internet. And just as the original World Wide Web from 25 years ago connected all the web pages, the new web connects all of the web spaces. And the web spaces could be the entire surface of the planet. It's called a digital twin or a digital copy. Could be of our factory, of our city. So it's going to allow all kinds of new capabilities we've never had, and it's going to lead to big social changes. Next slide. And some of those changes are going to impact us fairly rapidly, but boy, by the end of the decade, it's going to really hit hard. Deloitte has put out a report calling the spatial web the next era in computing. It's that transformational. Completely leaves behind everything that we've been thinking about computers before. So computing before, the information's been behind. But what's happening with the spatial is the information is coming out into the world. And then using augmented reality glasses or augmented reality on our smartphones, we can suddenly, the whole world lights up with information. And so they say, really, according to the Deloitte report, it's digital content and physical objects merging. And we call it spatial because the information is now in the world around us, integrated into the physical world. You can query things, you've got search tools, you've got every kind of thing you might have for a 2D web, but now you have it for a 3D world. Next slide. And so this new spatial AI web is a breakthrough. It's going to solve problems we haven't been able to get at before. Climate management, and smart city management, and other kinds of big issues that we're facing. So it's going to help us make a better world. But at the same time, it's also going to create some problems. Probably 50% of the jobs that we currently have today are gone. And so we're going to have massive job loss. And that means we have to prepare for that. And we can actually use these same holographic, interactive global tools to help train people for this new economy. And also even there's going to be massive entrepreneurial opportunities. Remember, when the World Wide Web began in 1995, there was no Amazon. There was no Google, there was no Facebook, there was no Yahoo, none of these, Alibaba, every kind of major company all over the globe. This all happened in the last 25 years. Well, here's the problem. The rate of change doesn't stay the same, it increases. And so the spatial web will do in 12 years what the World Wide Web did in 25. Well, 12 years from now, I mean, that's tomorrow. If you're running a business, you've got to have a 10-year outlook. And so we're really confronted with something that's coming at us at very high speed. And we need to prepare for it, understand it, and then engage it in a way that it is non-negative, okay? Next slide, please. And so here we can kind of see the big four ages of the current internet. It began back in 1970. Hey, let's connect all the computers. Before that, they weren't. IBM networks didn't talk to, DEC networks didn't talk to Bull networks. They were all islands and separate. And with TCP/IP, the open protocol, suddenly any computer could talk to any other computer, and we got a world of networked computers. And that opened up email. That was the killer app. And so Tim Berners-Lee in 1994 did the same thing and created a protocol, which we type in every time, HTTP, and that connected all the web pages of the world. So now we have 8 billion web pages, all connected together. Then with the rise of the mobile device, we have now a way of linking all of the smartphones together in the world. And now we're ready for Web 3.0. And as you can see, AI is at the core of it. So AI is a service of the spatial web. It integrates blockchains and AR and VR and IoT devices. And what's great about each new layer is it still uses the old layer. When we had the World Wide Web, we still did email. When we had the mobile web, we still surfed the internet on our computers. And now that we have this new Web 3.0, we'll still use all of the previous tools as we like. But usually 80% of the time is spent in the new stack. And so you can see the new stack here. It integrates AI. A lot of people wonder, well, how are these all connected? Well, AI is the core logic of the world we're stepping into. And the interfaces then are natural. They're binoculars, so that's AR and VR. The AI needs an interface to be able to see the world. That's IoT devices. And then we need a better record of truth at the data layer. And most of our databases, our relational databases, have been hacked. And so blockchains maybe offer a way to move forward with more secure data. So that's what we call the spatial web, and we're going to really create a network now of humans, machines, and AI all working together. And that leads to things that people have been calling Industry 4.0, Society 5.0, or smart cities. Next slide. So this is the story of life on Earth, right? Everything changes all the time. The one constant is change. And so we've got 4 billion years of genetic evolution. Next slide. And during those 4 billion years, we've spawned different life forms and had different eras of life. And here's 4 billion years of life evolving on the surface of the planet. And all of human history is that red dot down there in the right-hand corner. And so obviously we've speeded up evolution a lot recently. But this is the world we live in. We're evolving. Everything we do, every invention we make, every new story we tell, I mean, we evolve our consciousness. And so what's really exciting is that we're about to evolve faster than we've evolved before. But of course, that breaks our habits. We like things predictable. And so when we get a massive amount of change, suddenly it's kind of hard, especially if you're running a big business or a government agency or something. You may have to deal with so much change in a short period of time that it's almost overwhelming. Next slide. So we've shifted now for the last 10,000 years from genetic evolution to mimetic evolution. Genetic evolution is the evolution of our biological systems, and mimetic evolution is the evolution of our thoughts or our culture. And so, next slide. And so really, we've seen a huge explosion of mimetic evolution in the last 10,000 years since the last ice age. And so we went from the, next slide, we went from the Stone Age all the way to artificial intelligence and robots on Mars in 10,000 years. We call it the Holocene. It's been an extraordinary run, led really from stone tools in 10,000 years ago, the invention of agriculture maybe 8,000 years ago, the invention of mass production maybe 500 years ago, and the invention of the computer 75 years ago. And here we are today on the threshold of the Anthropocene, which is really where the mimetic and the genetic kind of combine to create something we're calling biomimetic. And that is that we're really living in a living system that's evolving. And so we're not just getting a hologram world with the spatial web. We're getting a world that's evolving around us, so it has intelligence. And it has intelligence as a service. Next slide. So yeah, this is the time we're in here, and we're at a crucial moment. You can kind of see here's the Holocene, and there's the growth of even world population. So as our health systems got better and our wealth increased, our population exploded, and now we're at 8 billion people and heading toward 10. So that's another set of problems we have to solve. So we've got to use these tools that we have, the history of technology and the history of human development, they come together. And luckily we have some great new tools that's going to help us in this next 30 years, because I think from 2020 to 2050, in a way, we're installing like a new operating system on the planet. And it really prepares the next civilization that will flower from, say, 2050 to 2100. And that's really the world of science fiction that we've been seeing in our movies. So the internet began in 1970, and it came up with a brilliant idea, a network with no center. That means there's nobody you have to check into and get permission to plug in. It's just an open protocol. Anybody can plug into it. And when you have a network that's open, you get exponential growth. It's just remarkable. And so as the economy is moving into that network more and more every year, we're going to get an exponentially growing economy. So that creates an abundance economy or an exponential economy. And we're at $80 trillion now in our global GDP. It's quite possible that by 2050 we'll be at 800 trillion. Well, that creates a tremendous amount of abundance that can be shared widely, and the quality of life for everybody on the planet will move to a new level. Next slide. Yeah, so there you are. We went from 4 computers in 1970. Next slide. That's what started the internet. Once those 4 computers were turned on, the internet has never been turned off once. Today, we're at 40 billion computers plugged into the global internet. And look at it, it looks like the human brain. And of course, it is a new kind of digital brain. And we're about to plug 500 billion IoT devices into this global internet. And so we really did need a new protocol to manage all this growth because the poor little World Wide Web is really built for a world of documents, not for all of this. And this is just the stepping stone to where we're going next, right? Because this thing just keeps tipping upward and going faster and getting larger. And so the same thing happened with the web pages. We started with 10 web pages in 1994. We're up to 10 billion web pages today. One tweet, 15 years ago, 250 billion tweets a year now. I mean, it's exponential growth every time you mess around with a network. And now we're moving into a network economy. We're moving into a network society. And we're going to live inside holograms. I mean, we'll see this world, but when you put your augmented reality glasses on, you're going to see a new three-dimensional world also overlaid with it. Next slide. And so this is just happening. Apple's announced their glasses are coming out. Many other companies are doing the same thing. Google, Facebook, Snapchat, Microsoft, Magic Leap, and many of the Sony and Tencent and many of the other producers around the world. So that's all coming. So these free and open protocols obviously are the foundation of exponential growth. Once you understand that, then you get the whole thing. So TCP/IP allowed 40 billion computers to be all linked together because there's no central authority organizing it. It's decentralized, so it can just happen naturally. And the same thing happened with web pages. Anybody in South Africa or Brazil or Germany can make a new website right now and plug it in and go. They don't have to check in, can I plug in, can I allow this, and that kind of thing. So you get vast growth. And so you can see TCP/IP connected to the computers, HTTP connects to web pages, HSTP. Finally, we get to the dream we've always had. We can connect everything, every car, every building, everything. And so that is hitting us right now. The reason we didn't do that in 1995 is our network was too slow and our chips were too slow. Next slide. And so now that we've got these fast networks and these fast chips, well, human ingenuity, we're going to now connect everything and make a digital copy of it. And of course, we've got all these new technologies exploding. Billions of dollars being spent on autonomous vehicles, drones, augmented and virtual reality, robots, IoT devices, computer vision, and AI tying it all together. And these are not part of our World Wide Web. They're over here somewhere doing specialized things. Well, now we're going to make a web that includes all of them. As you can see, as we mentioned before, this new layer is coming in, and that bottom HSTP protocol then enables anybody to create an AI application anywhere in the world, and then there are tool sets they can use to quickly build applications, kind of the way we use WordPress today and Shopify to build our websites. We don't necessarily all code them in HTML. So yeah, a lot of great tools coming in that will allow companies and government agencies and individuals to build new things. And then now that we've got HSTP that connects everything, now we've really turned the world into a kind of a giant computer game. Well, what happens when we got a big computer game? Well, the AIs can handle all the kind of boring drudgery stuff, and so we'll get way better coordination in our cities and our airports and drones and everything, and you really get an adaptive environment that is optimized for life and obviously pays attention to sustainability and other issues that we're facing as we start to live with 8, 9, 10 billion people on the planet. We also have some big problems we've run into with the current World Wide Web. Everything you do is tracked. Every database is hacked, and you can't tell what's real and what's fake. So obviously that's 25 years of experience of like millions of humans on a network. We can kind of see, well, these are the big three problems. It turns out that blockchains help us with the hacking, self-sovereign identity helps us with the tracking, and there are other really cool AI devices that will help us with the fake issue versus real. So even this new spatial web will help us attack the fundamental problems of the previous web. So here's what's happening in a nutshell. I mean, the information's escaping our computers and moving into the world. So instead of looking on a handheld device or a laptop or whatever to find what you're looking for and then go out into the world and find about, we call that the about problem. Right now we have information about the world. Now we're going to embed the information in the world so the world is actually speaking to us. And then AIs can just guide you and handle things and coordinate things. And this is all technology that exists now. So this is not some kind of futuristic thing. This is being installed and operating here in the world around us today. AI is obviously a real key issue. Anything that can beat us at chess is obviously a valuable tool to have in our business, and our businesses and our various agencies going forward. So Deep Blue beat Garry Kasparov for the World Chess Championship 23 years ago. Not 5 years ago, not 10 years ago, 23 years ago. Well, AI has advanced a lot since then. Next slide. And so as this AI advances, it gives us new capabilities we've never had. Here we see Tony Stark in Iron Man working with Jarvis and designing his Iron Man suit. But the problem that they got wrong in the movie, they got Jarvis right. That's what's coming. No doubt. We got Jarvis intelligence coming in. And it's based on a new kind of AI. It's not neural nets, it's active inference AI. You'll be hearing more about that soon. But the cool thing about Jarvis is a digital intelligence, a digital AI. So Jarvis can make 8 billion copies of itself. So everybody gets their own personal Jarvis. So everybody has what Tony Stark has at that point. And your personal digital assistant is looking out for you, can teach you anything, can coordinate things for you. So, wow, what a service that'll be. Artificial intelligence as a service. Next slide. So that may be that may be the most important thing because what we're doing then is we've turned the world into kind of a game. Well, that's invaluable. If it's a game, we can play the game better. And so AI can help us play the game better and coordinate things. And then we call it biomimetic or biomimicry because the intelligence of the world is actually increasing. And we're being affected by it with our human intelligence. So there's a coevolution of intelligence, both artificial and human. And we call that augmented intelligence, networked augmented intelligence. Next slide. And so we have a biomimetic world game that we're about to play together. And it's going to help us solve the climate problem, as an example. The pandemic, obviously, has been a horrible experience all over the globe. We've lost 500,000 people here in the United States. But it also has been a major behavior change. So it's actually forced everybody to learn to work online, to learn to educate themselves online, to socialize online, entertain themselves online. And so in a weird way, just as the asteroids wiped out the dinosaurs and opened the door for the mammals to spread widely, it's possible that the pandemic has been an accelerant to move us toward this new network society. Next slide. And so if that's the case, then it will speed up our evolution. And we ultimately end up with a smart everything, really. We have a smart city, smart grid, smart homes, smart cars, smart devices, smart healthcare, smart farming, smart construction, retail, smart supply chains. Everything's smart, connected, automated, secure, and sustainable. And once you've got a smarter world that you're in with AI interacting with humans, wow, your productivity levels and efficiency levels just start to go through the roof. I mean, immediate 30, 40, 50% efficiency gains. The systems just pay for themselves so fast that you can't not use them. So it isn't like, hey, here's this new thing, it'd be really nice to have. No, you use it or your competitors will use it and drive you out of business. So it just works so much better. Next slide. It works so much better than our current system that it'll spread like wildfire around the world. And along with it is a new native way of measuring and paying for things. We're hearing a lot about Bitcoin in the market, but really they're just part of this general move toward digital currencies. We went from mail to email. We went from commerce to e-commerce. Now we're going to go from money to e-money. And probably every national, there'll be the e-euro and there'll be the e-yuan and every other kind of thing. So what that does, though, is that moves us to a peer-to-peer economy and friction-free. And so AIs can coordinate everything. You really don't use credit cards, and everything's handled at that level. There'll be exchanges where you can move from crypto back into fiat if you need it, but by 2030, 2040, and beyond, most things will be done in crypto. Next slide. Next slide. And that gives us, really, we've been calling it a friction-free economy. And here's the key slide, really, of the whole thing. And that is, this is a wonderful pyramid that Abraham Maslow, the psychologist, put together to kind of describe human needs. Well, what is business and government other than providing services that meet these human needs, right? And so here we have physiological needs for food, water, shelter, safety needs for security and financial security, and then family and friendship and esteem needs and cognitive needs, and right up the line. What happens when we go through a big transformation like this, and we unleash a new spatial web and new advances in AI, is every one of these layers goes through that transformation. Next slide. And so there are huge opportunities that are going to appear because the way we've been solving these things isn't the way we're going to solve them in the future. And we're already seeing companies start to roll in here to try to deliver those new digital services online that were being done maybe in the physical world in the past. And so this is, this is a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity here for both businesses or individuals to create companies. I mean, Amazon was started by Jeff Bezos and his wife. I mean, these very small seed companies can grow into huge corporations. And here we have Jay Samit, former vice chairman of Deloitte. He said the impact of the spatial web will dwarf that of the internet and change how we live, work, and thrive. So you can kind of just get the sense this is a massive, the original internet and the World Wide Web are trillions of dollars in market cap that's been created. Well, this is going to be 10x, 100x over that. So next slide. So this is really a moment in history here. We stand here in the dawn of 2021 and get ready for this next thing. I was at Davos a year ago, and the World Economic Forum is calculating that it's a $100 trillion opportunity in the 20s that's sitting right there to be engaged with. Next slide. So this is, it's scary at one level because it's forcing us to change, but at another level, it's the opportunities are so great that we can really grow. And really, it allows us to create something called a smart city. We've been dreaming about it for a while, but we haven't really been able to get it together because, again, all we have is a web of documents right now. But now we have a web of things. So now suddenly you can have a smart city, smart nation, smart world, planetary management of the climate, resources, other kinds of things. And here are just some of the layers of information that we would be able to coordinate in the future. So we're not like looking around to find out where the masks are. We know where every mask is in the world in the future. It's inside the computer game. We know exactly where they are. We can find them and move them around and pay for them friction-free. So you can feel that's coming. And here you can kind of see obviously impacting even the way we do health. So we got adaptive health with AIs and humans interacting with us and understanding our health needs more effectively than ever before. Manage our smart cities? Well, that's even including our carbon accounting. From the city to the nation to the world, we're going to be able to run a global climate accounting and know exactly what we need to do to stay within our 2 degrees centigrade or 1.5 degrees centigrade limit set up by the Paris Accords. Next slide. So we couldn't get to this before. We just didn't have the tools to be able to see it. Now we can. Same thing, global supply chain, total visibility everywhere. It won't even be a supply chain, it'll be a supply network. And then as that all comes together and starts to link up, then we really have a smart world, and that really helps us address the 17 sustainability goals set up by the United Nations for 2030. So we had it as a theoretical idea, but how do we get there? And really, that's the real challenge in front of us today and why we're working with Steffi's group in Germany. And that is, how do we get there? Next slide. How do we get to this next level? What's required? I mean, if it's so much change, how do we adapt? How do we adjust? How do we engage this new world? And so, and the answer is we have to train people. The next generation needs to be trained in these new technologies. Luckily, they've been playing computer games for 25 years, so they actually understand how to navigate in a three-dimensional world. But now we're going to need to train them for new kinds of jobs and new kinds of opportunities. And we also have to retrain people that are already working and that are losing their jobs. So we think that HTCE has got a great concept on retraining, upskilling, reskilling, and the spatial web and holographic training systems can really help speed that up. So new skills. AI and robots are going to replace many of the jobs that we currently are doing. So we also have to retrain the people we have. And the problem is the rate of change isn't slowing down. And I think Steffi mentioned it in her talk, is that we're now into continuous evolution. So this is lifelong education. Next slide. Lifelong education, lifelong retraining. AI is helping you identify where are the opportunities, and then here are the courses you should take and the trainings you should have, and then you can go get that. And even Germany, I mean, Germany is facing a real problem. It's been estimated that Germany may have a shortage of 6 to 8 million skilled workers in 2030. Well, that's 9 years from now. And the other problem is they're not yet spending as much money as many of the other countries to reskill and upskill the workforce. Well, that's got to change. I mean, this is coming at us. It's going to swamp us. People are going to be out of work. So they need to have something they can engage to take part in the next opportunities. And we saw that with the World Wide Web. I mean, many young companies grew up and started e-commerce businesses and other kinds of things online. Next slide. So these are really serious social impacts that are coming. So we got to train the next gen workers, and we got to retrain the existing workers. Well, we're going to use computer games because gamification makes it kind of fun. You're challenged, you have to pass challenges, and so we're going to gamify training and education, and we're going to have lifelong education and continuous evolution of our understanding of the world around us. Next slide. So this stuff is like just coming at us so fast, and I think what Steffi is doing in Cologne is key to really creating a model of how we're going to operate in the future here. So immersive training is one example. Augmented and virtual reality, Portal, other kinds of immersive holographic devices that we'll have. These are, wow, and gamify that. You can learn in probably 1/4 of the time. We were testing training systems here in California with a company, and their training times using the holographic interface went from 2.5 days to 30 minutes. And then the person who just got trained by that 30 minutes can train other people. I mean, it's dramatic, okay? This is going to change things. So we really can help people adapt and adjust and learn new skills and upgrade because we can share this virtually all over the world. We're not limited by going to a physical location, although that's even better when we can do that. And then our AIs can be part of all that. So they can help us train, retrain, they can help develop our entrepreneurial skills, help us develop our soft skills. So AI is a big part of it. Next slide. So you get AI and holographic information, immersive information, gamify it, and you've got an accelerant for that. And so you can learn very focused skills like city planning, architecture, construction, things you might really need and want to learn. And the AIs can help you identify, with your background and with the way you're answering these questions, this is probably the best thing for you to learn here. But they can also, next slide, they can also teach you any general kind of information as well, like mathematics, anatomy, history, other kinds of normal subjects that we would kind of normally study in a university environment. Our understanding of human anatomy is just going through the roof every day. The stuff I studied in college is completely obsolete, So, we're learning already online, but as we step into these 3D holograms, wow. We'll really stay current, and we'll probably have 13-year-old girls doing PhD level work in 10 years because we're just accelerating our knowledge base and our understanding of how to interact with the world around us. And of course, with each new generation, you get a new mindset. The millennials are more demanding. They're not going to put up with, it's like, okay. Steffi's a good example. She went to work for a big corporation, went, wait a minute, this is all wrong, And so we're going to do a different kind of jobs in the future too, where there's you're really working, you're being trained by the best people, probably virtually. I mean, using things like the portal, you can have the top expert in the world coming in and talking, things that really help you grow as a person, things that might have a positive impact in the world. So values become a really important part of the world going forward, and generally, you know, that's going to spread throughout the world. I mean, this is a kind of a new way of thinking. It's obviously exemplified by millennials, but there's no other way forward, really. And then, of course, we have so many millions of workers worldwide that have to be reskilled and upskilled. I mean, wow. And the AIs can really help in kind of identifying, look, here are the top 10 most needed types of jobs in the world right now, and here are the training systems you need to follow to get there, and it can coordinate all that for you so people can actually be reorienting their whole job life in a whole new way based on what the world really needs and what their kind of innate skills might be. So again, I mean, this is a big problem we're facing, but if we engage it right, it'll be also a huge opportunity. So here's some reskilling, upskilling examples: coding, data analytics, STEM type science and technology things. But also we're learning a new way to learn. And maybe we're learning about creativity because it's gamified. And maybe we're learning soft skills because we have to collaborate with other people all over the world in different cultures and languages. And so you can kind of see what's happening. This new economy is truly a global borderless economy. Next slide. We're seeing companies just become so massive because they're able to service customers worldwide. So we're going to shift also from job training, like here's a job, to really helping people form new companies. Here's everything you need online. Here's an entrepreneur toolkit. Everything you need for legally to set up the corporation, issue stock, do every kind of thing, digital lawyers working with you. So we think we can create millions of new entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs, because even if you're in a corporation, possibly you can come up with a whole new division for the company. Again, this looks like a very difficult thing. What are we going to do with all the job loss? But it's actually a huge opportunity if we engage it properly. And I think Steffi's really trying to bring that point to the fore. This is something we're talking about today is upskilling and reskilling and training. But really, it's part of a larger social transition we're going through. We've gone through it before when we went from the Stone Age to the Ag Age. In the Stone Age, we had no major cities. In the Ag Age, we had huge city-states and empires and everything. When we went from the Ag Age to the Industrial Age, we got many modern conveniences, electricity, new advances in health, longer lifespans. We've doubled our lifespans in the last 100 years. And we're probably going to double them in the next 50. So imagine people in the future are going like, oh my gosh, those poor people back in 2000 in that area, they died under 100 years of age. And now the lifespan is 200 or 150, let's say, double what it is today. So these kinds of things are coming as well. It really is kind of a science fiction world we're stepping into. And there's going to be a rocky crossing, but it's training on the one end, transforming in the middle as we engage and transform ourselves, and then evolving really at the other end, and we evolve into the next humans we can really be. The best of us becomes average. I mean, that becomes the norm today. And I think that's pretty much it. Maybe last slide here. And thanks so much for having me today. It's just been a blast here being part of this. I had the luck 25 years ago to produce the first summit meeting on the internet with Nelson Mandela, President Nelson Mandela, and Prime Minister Shimon Peres. And so here we are in a holographic teleportation system now, and we're at the dawn of the holographic age when we're going to have portals and AR glasses and VR glasses and every other kind of thing, and we're going to, be inhabiting these 3D game worlds. So let's engage this stuff. Let's do it well. Let's train Let's train our employees for this new world. Let's train our young people, and let's step into it in a positive way. And such a pleasure and an honor to be working with Steffi on these kinds of projects. And we're bringing everything in our company. And if you need to find anything about us, you can go to the website, and we're happy to answer any questions. But we'll be doing large experiments with Steffi here in Germany in the next few years here. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Dan, for your inspirational speech. I always really love your speeches because there's always something amazing new in it. It's really amazing seeing you in this portal hologram system while I'm sitting here. It really looks so real. It's really incredible. And I know we are really testing it today. We're trying out different things. So thank you so much, David. I'm pretty sure people out there, you have questions. So please feel free to ask any questions you would like. And as the last time with David, Juliana, please go ahead.
Here I am again. All right. Well, Dan, it's been amazing. You always manage to just take me on a journey somewhere else in the world. Particularly, I'd like to say that someone mentioned in the chat, I wrote this down because it's amazing. Training Inception, they wrote. And I think this is exactly what's going to happen, merging education and the spatial web. So this has a huge social impact, and this is the start. I'd just like to mention again how amazing this is that we're actually making this happen for the very first time ever. So thank you, Dan, for being here with us. So yeah, without further ado, one other comment and question that I got was, is the spatial web actually already usable, applicable? How much longer do we have to wait for this great innovation?
Yes, great question. If we go back to the World Wide Web, it was developed in the early 90s and really launched, I would say, in 94, and then Amazon really began in 95, and Yahoo, and then we had the explosion of the World Wide Web. The spatial web has been developed over the last, say, 4 years, and now it's being installed. And so I would say we're at the beginning of 1995 of the World Wide Web. The technology's done. IEEE has created the subcommittees around the standard. We have tools, software developer kits that companies can build logistics applications, hospital management, smart city applications. We just won the contract with the European Commission to develop drone standards where drones can fly, where they can land, registration systems. So yes, it's the dawn of it. We're at early baby stages, but you know, these things grow exponentially. So by the end of the decade, it will be widespread.
Thank you, Dan. One more question, if I may. So if I were to imagine a child sitting in Zimbabwe because I'm burning for social impact, does that mean that a teacher trained through the HTCE able to use the portal that is the most amazing math teacher could be teaching anywhere in the world with the spatial web?
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. This is the internet of everything and everywhere. We're having 5G spread. Elon is putting up Starlink satellites to cover every square meter of the planet. Blue Origin's doing the same thing. So we're going to have a global surface of the planet with high-speed networking. And so the spatial web then can allow, just like I can go to any website anywhere in the world, I don't even know where the servers are. They might be in China, they might be in Italy. In the spatial web, you just speak. You don't use keyboards anymore. That'll look so funny in the future. They'll be like payphones. Like, what's that? Oh my God, that's a keyboard. Why are we typing? No, we just talk. The AIs can translate our language into digital information and commands. Yeah, absolutely. Teachers in Zimbabwe can teach students in Germany. Teachers in Germany can teach students in Zimbabwe. students can get together from Zimbabwe and Germany and form a new company, and it grows into a billion-dollar company like Etsy did, which just started off with a few people in the living room. So this is what's about to happen, right? We're creating the world game. Everybody's connected to everybody, and everything is connected to everything, and the AIs help us manage it and interact with it more effectively.
Well, great, Dan. You've given me the best possibility to tell my boss, Steffi, I'm going on a lifelong workation. No, thank you so much. This has been fabulous. And yeah, too many more questions. Everyone wants to see your slides, but we'll gather all that information for you in the chat and get it back to you. Steffi, back to you.
Thank you, Juliana. And thank you, Dan, honestly, for being here. And please take care and say greetings to everybody in LA in the studio. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. So now I would say we will have a little entertainment break with a very cool young guy. His name is Roger. And Roger is a modern and creative magician from Barcelona and member of the great Newton Lab space team where I am today. He was born in 2000, so therefore he is really a true millennial. And at the age of 16, he was finalist in the second edition of Spain's Got Talent. And now, Roger, I'm really happy having you here, and the stage now is yours.
Hi, Steffi. Thank you for having me. Before I start with the trick, I need you for the magic trick. Before we start, I want everybody who is watching this, I want everybody to know that we didn't fix anything, we didn't talk before, and you don't know what you are about to see.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so let's start with the magic trick. I will introduce you my holographic twin. He is Roger. Oh, hi. Hi, Roger. Hi, Steffi. Hi, everyone. How are you? First of all, I will introduce myself. I am an holographic and improved version of Roger. Say, improved? Yeah, Roger, improved. And if you want, we both will show you the real magic of Portal. The mix between our reality and the holographic. Here, I've got a juice. Want some? Yeah, Roger, why not? Thank you. Okay. So, it's all yours. I want all of you to notice my straw. Nice. It was really nice. Thank you, Roger. Okay, Roger, are you listening to me? Yeah, Roger, I'm listening to you. Right. Here, I've got a card, yeah? This is the Joker. Oh, I love the Joker, yeah. Okay. I will send it to you, yeah, to your reality. Okay, I will try to catch it, yeah. Oh. Here it is. The Joker. Okay, Roger, I will try to send it back to you. Okay. Right? Here it is. Nice. Okay, now I will show you how I, as an artificial and maybe magical intelligence, can guess something that you will be thinking of. So, Steffi, now I need your help.
Okay.
I want you to think one card of the poker deck. Only one.
Okay.
Not two, obviously. One of the other 52 cards we have in a poker deck. Yeah? Got it?
Yes.
Right. So now I will take your card, the card you are thinking in, I think, yeah, this is, and I will put it back into the deck, but face down. And now I will send this back to your reality for you to check it. So, Roger, are you ready? Yeah, I am. Yeah? Yeah. Here it is. I've got the deck. So, Steffi, now, for the first time, what is the card you are thinking in?
7 of Hearts.
The 7 of Hearts?
Yes.
Sure. Okay, so let's see if Roger have done a great work. The 7 of Hearts. Here we have all the poker deck, all the cards. Yeah, the 7 of Hearts. Yeah. Look, we have all the cards of the deck, and only one Only one is here.
Okay.
Only one is turned down.
Mm-hmm.
Please, I want you to take it and turn it.
Honestly?
Yeah. What is this card?
No.
Is this exactly the 7 of
I
hearts?
can't believe it. It's the 7 of hearts. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, Steffi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roger.
Wow,
Goodbye.
great. Unbelievable. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you, Steffi.
Amazing. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Unbelievable. Okay, I need to ask him later how he did. It's the 7 of hearts. Crazy. So now we have the part where Molly is communicating with some guests we have on Zoom. So could we please have Zoom here on our wall? And Molly, please go ahead.
Well, Steffi, we've made history today, and the first intercontinental portal holoportation live beaming, what a day. And for the grand finale, we have an interactive conversation, and we're going to actually start with John Canning. Are you there? Can you?
I'm here. I'm here.
Our HTCE Roundtable 3 will be coming up shortly, and we will announce when that is. And we have the most amazing person to be the keynote, and he's going to give a 2-minute preview of what he's talking about. Please meet John Canning, who is the executive producer, new media and experiential of Digital Domain. John?
Thank you. Thank you. And I've got 2 minutes, and I feel like this is a chat with you all. I'm not coming to you as a hologram, but as a flat 2D rectilinear person, but I am real. I promise, or maybe I'm not. And I think the conversation we're having coming up is all about, as we're blurring these lines of representing ourselves in this new world of spatial computing, spatial web. It is a fascinating time where the blending of what we think of as just a video communication and our digital selves, and what does it mean to be digital and to represent ourselves and how to represent ourselves. And I think everyone out there is now experimenting much more than we ever had to before with this concept of the telepresence, the ability to be involved and engaged in a meaningful way across vast amount of distances where we're not physically together. Although I do hope we will be able to physically get together periodically. And so the talk will be about being digital and what does that mean and how do we evolve it? And, you know, I love a world that we'll eventually be able to anybody, anywhere connect. We still have digital divide, but we're plowing through that. And what are those steps and what have we seen over the last year that is moving that forward to being steps closer to having meaningful interaction with each other across the vast distances?
John, I cannot wait, and I know everyone on the Zoom, we're so excited for your talk. Stay tuned for details about that. One of the hallmarks of these roundtables is that you have an opportunity to share what your goals are. What are the challenges that you're working on, and get the collective mindset advice that is, I mean, we have truly the greatest minds in technology gathered and convened here today. And so I'd like to quickly introduce, for the grand finale of today, we will briefly explore one such challenge. I'd like to introduce Nigel D. Cleaves, who is the Senior Advisor of Fameline Holding Group, and also Captain Fauzi Fradi, who is the Group Director Training of Columbia House. And go ahead and share what your challenge is, and then we'll give advice to round out this wonderful roundtable today.
Thank you very much, Molly, and very good evening, morning, or wherever you are today. And Dan's presentation was absolutely fascinating and really inspiring. I think he deserved a virtual glass of water, having worked so hard. But my background is in training, so that was very nice to hear that Dan wants a lot of training. But we're in the maritime-based background, and includes, my background is ship management and maritime training, as I say, and that has involved training of some 300,000 officers and crew on board over 12,000 vessels. and 100 million training hours to date. And all these courses have been a combination of CBTs, videos, and also gamification, which Dan also mentioned. So it looks as if we're in the right space at the moment. All are safety and operationally focused. And today we're moving into the LMS space, very much so. One item I think you'll find of particular interest is the Elasticsearch that we've been using in the past to actually identify and drill down results and scores that we've obtained from the learners, and identified weaknesses where perhaps they've had a low score, and we say, well, it's not just that person, it's a nationality, it's an age profile, or they're consistently having problems in this area, and therefore it's either the course or we need to retrain and up the ante. So very interesting. Also, by throwing in Elasticsearch, we found that the most popular day for training was on a Saturday by all the crew, and the most incidents occurring were on a Wednesday in the shipping side. But we do have sort of one universal issue and an unusual issue, and that is connectivity. And it's not just like we're all today on the web and that. We have issues because ships are at sea. And maybe I pass this over to Fiauzi, who's with Columbia Ship Management, to explain more. Over to you, Fiauzi.
Yeah, thanks, Nigel. Hi, Molly. Nice to see you all. It's really big pleasure to be here. As you can see in my background, so I'm also from the shipping industry. I used to work as a captain on ships for almost 8 years. And then I went through the management of the ships. My company is called Columbia Ship Management and is based in Cyprus and in Germany. We manage more than 300 ships, more than 15,000 employees worldwide. You know what I like too much about the spatial internet and all this stuff, that is super exciting. However, we do have a problem. And I really hope joining these kind of events will help us find the best solution. Nigel spoke about connectivity. Ships are moving everywhere. They not just stand still, you know. That's how we get all the stuff shipped, you know, like the portal machine. We can't go to Barcelona from US without ship, right, Molly? So the ships are doing a lot of good things for us. Sometimes we just don't know. And the crew, the staff who is on board, they don't have easy access to internet. It's either very expensive or very difficult to get a good signal and large bandwidth all the time. That's why all this technology is very difficult to get to the ships. And we are talking about 1.5 million seafarers around the world. So that's also a good market. And definitely, having also the seafarers coming from usually less developed countries make things economically difficult for them locally to be established. So Portal, for example, is a fantastic solution for us. We train people all across the globe. So we have people in Philippines, people in Ukraine, in Russia. We have 54 nationalities. It's so diverse industry. Yeah, we are working on having more ladies into our business. I know that. We are aware about it. Yes, we are working on it and coming soon. All work is done. However, on nationalities, and that's a huge mixture. And that to make things, for example, for me as a group director training, I can't go across, you know, around the world. I used to do it before the pandemic. Now we start to see that that was not perhaps always very smart. So we can use technology, and we should have used technology to go to China, Philippines, Russia, Ukraine. You know, you spend a lot of time, and not only one director who has to do that, a lot of us. So we still want to see people face to face, but not necessarily all the time. And that's why we want to use technology like Portal, learning management systems, e-learning, and all this stuff. Thank you.
That is such an exciting challenge. And, you know, one thought I have is Elon Musk is doing Starlink not far from where we're headquartered here at Portal, putting satellites in the sky to really increase connectivity. So hopefully that may come into play as a solution. I'd like to open it up to the group for a few minutes before we say goodbye today. Does anyone have any advice for the situation that Nigel and Fiauzi are dealing with? Anyone, if there is someone, we can unmute you.
I'd like to say hello to everybody. It's great to see you, Brett. Great to see you. I didn't know you were going to be on here today. And Miguel and just everyone. It's a really, really cool team. We're all going to be working together for the next 10 years as this thing explodes around us. So it's going to be fun. Really, really great knowing you all.
Yeah.
Great talk, Dan.
I think we're going to keep close with you, Dan, with your developments for sure. Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, really, we're here. It's really a gift to the planet, so we're here to serve. Any way we can help you understand what we're doing, or try to develop a proof of concept project, anything, just let me know. My name is my email is just the website. It's dan@versus.io, so very easy to contact me. And we're here to collaborate with people like Steffi and Brett and yourselves on and Miguel and on projects that range from entertainment to education to managing our businesses.
Well, it's certainly been a really dynamic, spectacular, history-breaking day, and I think you've shared such an interesting challenge, Nigel and Faizi. Let us think on it, and when we come back next time for our Roundtable 3, we'll probably have some great ideas for you. And I encourage you all to think of challenges you have for the future. So with that said, I'm going to turn it back over to Steffi and just say congratulations on making history today, Steffi.
Yes, we all did it, Molly. Oh, now you're all gone. I'm so sorry. Yes, it was really an amazing 90-minute session with a lot of crazy things happening before and behind the scenes. It was incredible that we really tried out this kind of new technology. And I want to thank everybody out there that you joined our 90-minute roundtable session. And we are really looking forward to seeing you at the third roundtable session. And thank all of you. And now I want to also talk to my German guests. Vielen herzlichen Dank, dass Sie alle hier waren und mitgemacht haben. Und ich bin ganz gespannt auf die nächste Runde und freue mich, wenn Sie wieder dabei sind. So thank you all for being part of this.